broadcast is live.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Beauty Club followers. Justine's just disappeared. Welcome to our Saturday hair and makeup Q&A. I'm makeup artist Leanne Perilly. I'm with the fabulous Justine Warwick, makeup artist, and the fabulous Peri Orrin, hairstylist. We all work together doing bridal work, which we're all highly experienced in, but we all love to do day-to-day looks as well. So we're going to do just focus on what you want to hear, what you want to know. Pop your questions in the chat or the comments. Share the page. Please share the page with your friends, family, anyone. Just share around, and so we want to help as many people as possible. So I'll just pass over to these lovely ladies for a second.
So the Beauty Club is really, hi Netta, nice to see you this morning. The Beauty Club we formed because we wanted to be able to share information with people. If you have products that you like, or you've got products and you don't know how to use them, it's good to post on the page because we all get to learn something from everyone. Leanne and I, and I'm sure Peri as well, we're always learning with whoever we meet. We learn things from them and we teach them things. So so we've been running is this our second question and answer, Leanne, that we've been doing?
Third, I think, isn't it?
Or third, yeah, yes, it might be the third one. And we've got another one scheduled for a couple of weeks that's covering makeup and skincare. So that's been really good for us to focus on during this period when we can't sort of work with our lovely clients. So so thanks for joining us. We'd love to hear any questions that you've got. Hello Sally. Hi Rachel. Oh,
Hi Rachel. Hi Sally. Hi Netta. We've been really mean, and we've
got makeup on yet.
Yeah, we've made Peri be bare faced this morning. Aren't we mean, Justine?
Yeah, I know. I thought that was lovely of us.
But there is a reason for that. We're going to go through a 5-minute makeup routine with Peri. So we're going to help her. We don't know what product. Well, we kind of know what product she's using, but she's using her own products, obviously.
It's unheard of. I don't really wear makeup. So instead of the girls doing it on them, so because they know what they're doing, we thought we'd do it on me that haven't got a clue.
Yeah. And it's using products that you've already got. So it's, you know, anyone can use what they've got at home. So yeah, we thought that might be quite a lot of fun. And also, I don't know about you, but during lockdown, like hair is like a massive issue to do, you know, roots and needs a cut and things like that. So Peri, when we were doing a little test the other day, I was like firing questions at her, and then I thought, I bet everyone has all of these questions. So I think it's going to be quite useful. So feel free to ask anything while we're here. We've got some topics to cover anyway, but you know, we thought we'll open it up to you as well.
Please throw your questions at us. We want to answer those, and we're going to answer obviously the 5-minute makeup and eyeliner as well. They were the questions on the page. Good morning, Jane. Good morning, Leanne. But first, are we going to show? We're all feeling lovely this morning because we've all used Sensus conditioner, colour conditioner. We're feeling a bit more fabulous than we have felt for the last few weeks. Go on, Peri, tell me about this.
Super grotty yesterday. So I've been hairdressing 18 years, and this is the longest in 18 years I've gone without colouring my hair, which yesterday I woke up and I was just like, oh, I just don't know what to do. Obviously, I don't have any colour at home. So our Fard conditioners, so basically they're vegan, they're eco-friendly. They are colour with natural pigments in, so you don't need to skin test. They're super safe to use at home, and they're basically what we use them for on a normal basis out of lockdown is a refresh and conditioning service. So like on my hair, I colour my hair every 6 weeks. So about week 3 or 4, it sometimes loses its luster a little bit, and maybe a little bit of the regrowth. And unfortunately, in the last year, I've become a little bit grey. So I use this on it probably once or twice in between colours. Now, obviously, we're in week, I think I'm on week 9, 10 possibly, having it coloured. Yeah. I have used it. I used it about 4 weeks ago, and I used the Fire on its own, but I used the old packaging, which this is a new formulation. So I thought I'd give this a go yesterday, and I did. Last time I did the red, and the red on its own was really vibrant. So I mixed the red and the copper today, just to get a little bit more natural as well, because I'm a redhead, and I do still have a little bit of copper around my hairline, and the red on that just goes like light bulb. So I mixed the two together. I had quite oily hair yesterday, so I literally mixed it through. I painted it, especially on my parting, and then mid-length twins, combed it through, and I left it on for about, actually I think it was a lot longer than I thought it was. I think I left it on for about 30-35 minutes. Shampoo it off, condition as normal. That is if you want to have real deep benefits from it, but you can do it in the shower as well. So I've been doing it once a week in the shower. Shampoo, pop it through, comb it through, do all the rest of your shower work, your whatever, and rinse, and that'll just give it a nice boost as well. But it just, it's opposite way around, it just it doesn't cover roots completely, but it just blends, and it has covered all of my grey, which is the bit I was bothered about the most. But as you can see through the sides here, it's giving quite good coverage. And obviously Leanne, you've used the sand, haven't you?
And it
so
just
Leanne,
feels more blended.
Leanne is quite blonde on the ends. We did do some coppers, but that was probably 12 weeks ago. So what that will do is it will blend her natural white hair in with her highlights, and make it look less of a difference between regrowth and normal hair. And then with Justine the same. Have you got the chocolate brownie? Have you got chocolate?
So I've used that the last 2 washes because I need to build that up, because the first time I used it, it did blend some of the grey, but I was recommended to use that a few times so it can build up, and it's definitely built up more today. I do condition my hair afterwards because my hair really needs as much condition as possible, whereas with Leanne and probably you, Peri, this is conditioning enough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a buildable product, so the more you use it and the longer you leave it on, the better results you will get. I did actually add in with mine some of our replenishing treatment into it, so I kind of cocktailed it together as well for the last 10 minutes or so, just through the mid-lengths, and that gives it even more of a conditioning boost. So where you said, Justine, your hair needs conditioner afterwards, so because mine's long, I use a little bit of that, but because Leanne's hair is quite fine and obviously sort of jaw length, the sand on its own is perfect.
I can't believe it. It's like the best conditioner I've ever used. I just can't believe how nice, because my hair was getting really kind of dry and endy where it hasn't been cut for so long, and I've been out in the sun and it's just getting really dry and broken, but it just feels like revived, like I've just been to the hairdressers. I love it.
And that's the main sort of use for it, is just to give it another lease of life, to tide you through, and just give it a little bit of a boost. You know, we're all in the same boat, and I think people think that us hairdressers, you know, it's fine, you can dye your hair at home, but I don't know about you guys. I live in a 1-bedroom flat. My bathroom is pristine white. The last thing I do is want to tint and dye my hair at home and get it everywhere. And actually, when I have my hair done, it's a luxury. You know, I don't get the service that you guys get, but it's nice to have sort of half an hour to myself, get someone to put my colour on. So it's a nice way to kind of boost it and keep it fresh.
You could get your partner to do that, maybe.
I'm just holding this because
Claire was asking, wasn't she? Which one?
Sand.
That's sand. Yeah. So it comes in. I think it's 8 colours. So we've got black, espresso, chocolate, brownie, fire, copper, raspberry, sand, platinum, and ice. So the platinum ice is great for your kind of grey tone clients that goes a little bit yellowy. This is a great product to use on your white hair, and obviously we did a white hair photo shoot recently, didn't we? And this is really good for those clients, because white hair does tend to have a tendency from the minerals in the water, because obviously we have a lot of copper and iron and magnesium in our water, and they do discolour the hair.
I didn't know that.
And that is really, really good. The ice and the platinum is amazing for the greyer hairs, but also blondes that tend to, you know, a lot of my highlight clients will tell me that for the first 4 weeks their blonde's perfect, and then as time goes on, not only do they get regrowth, the ends feel a little bit yellowy and a bit discoloured. So the ice and the platinum are fantastic for that.
But the sand is purple. The sand is a purpley colour as well. So I think it's really toned down, because mine was going more sort of goldeny. but more, you know, a little bit of yellow. So it's toned all that down as well, which is lovely. So that's got a bit of that toning
the
in.
sand is like, it's like a creamy beigey colour. So it gets rid of the yellow tones, but it also kind of creams it and gives it a nice sort of caramelly, I suppose, in a way, without being too warm.
I think what we'll do is, Peri, you did some before and after photos yesterday, didn't you? So I think we should post those on, and also you've probably got a post showing the range of colours that you can get. Because I have my hair done, my roots done every 4 weeks, and I must admit, when I get to about week 3, I'm using the root spray, and I'm desperate to go and have it redone. So this is the longest that I've gone without having my hair dye. And once we knew that we were going into lockdown, I did go out and buy a couple of like root touch-up box dye kits, just in case. But I haven't used them because I can't start seeing all posts about people saying, oh, you know, wait for your hairdresser, and there's all these other products available that can help get you through. Yeah,
so basically box dyes, I mean, they are what they are. But the reason we say that is the products that they're in there, you've got to understand that you're buying a box dye that says brown, but you could be putting it on my hair, or you could put it on your hair. So it's a very universal product. So it has to have so many chemicals in there to achieve both looks. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when you're putting that on your hair, you're putting your hair not only under the chemical process, but obviously if it goes too dark or too light or too warm, when you do finally get back to your hairdresser has got to get through that before they even get back to your natural colour to be able to then achieve the look that you had or you want originally, basically.
Yeah.
That's going to be potentially quite challenging for you, isn't it, Peri, if a lot of people have done that over lockdown?
We're going to have a lot of colour correction clients when we get back, which is fine. We understand that people, you know, home dye is what it is, but a lot of the pharmacies and chemists have now put tape over the box dye area and are not allowing it because it's not an essential, which has done us the world of good.
Oh, really?
But the problem with home dye is because it has such a high level of chemicals in, you're more likely to react from it. So when they say skin test 48 hours before, they really do mean it. They're not just saying that. In my salon that I currently will work at, because I've just transitioned over, we skin test our clients every time.
Yeah, okay, that's important, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So I've been using the root spray as well, which has been really, really good and really easy to use as well. So
what you're because you go to retreat, don't you, and see the lovely Marie?
Yes. Oh,
where's she gone?
Yeah.
What's she doing?
You see the lovely Marie. So where you're using your root sprays, they're amazing and they do a great job, and they're tiding us through, and they're much better than a box dye. But because they almost have like a talky residue, they can block the scalp a little bit. So what I would suggest you do before you next go back in to the salon, there we go, is use one of these. It's a Malibu Colour Prepare sachet. They're about £4.50. They're not very expensive at all.
Yeah.
And you shampoo your hair, pop these in. They're little crystals. So they do it that way for packaging and things like that. Little crystals, a little bit of water, rub it in your hand, and then just rub it through your scalp.
Yeah.
Leave it on while you're in the shower for 5 minutes, rinse and condition. And you do that the last shampoo before you have your next colour, basically. And that'll get rid of...
Would you be able to post that on... Would you be able to post that afterwards? Because I think that they used that on me last time I went in to the hairdresser. I think Marie used something similar to sort of, because there was some sort of build-up on my hair. So
all the products that we're talking about today, we do postage and packaging. It's £3.95 for postage. So if you're interested, message the beauty club or myself, and we can sort that out, no problem.
What we're all going through the same thing together, aren't we?
Like Justine, we'll put all the products. We'll put a product list on the comments after today. So, and we could do some links, and we'll link to Peri's page as well. And then if you want to order, you can go on and order whatever products you want. And actually, that Peri, that colour, so you've got a colour, the colour strip, of the different census.
Yes, that's on a post. I can pop that in the beauty club as well.
Brilliant. Yeah. Okay, so that'll help you.
I think I could probably get a copy of it up here. But that's no problem at all.
Yeah. I think Sharon's just come on saying she's just box dyed her hair today. Also, you must have been up early, and she's still able to get hold of that. But you always do that, don't you, Sharon? So you sort of do that regularly, rather than go
And
to
if
the
that
hair.
works for you, that's great. You know,
Yeah.
I understand. You know, it's budgets and things like that. And if that product works for you, that's great. Obviously, it's just different budgets and results you want to achieve.
Looking at different, just having some different. I'd never heard of this before, so and I got mine from Retreat. It's just looking at different options, isn't it, and seeing what works for us all.
Definitely.
So are there any other questions, Peri, that you've been asked a lot during lockdown?
Sorry, this is just I don't know if you can see there, the colour chart.
Yeah, the colour chart.
Yeah. So I'll attach that on there as well for you. Any other questions? A lot of clients are desperate for haircuts, especially, I mean, obviously our short clients are really struggling because obviously they're used to it being so short. So we've done a few tips and hints on our Facebook page, you know, tucking it behind the ears, putting some clips in and that kind of thing. But more so for long hair. So I was due a haircut at lockdown.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a haircut since February, which I have super fine hair. So it splits very, very quickly. But I have been using a couple of different combinations, which I probably wouldn't normally because they're quite nourishing and stuff, and my hair can be quite fine. But as I'm at home, you know, it's the best time to experiment and do some treatments. So pre-lockdown, I'd probably do a treatment once a month, whereas I've been probably doing one twice a week, which has made all the difference in the world. And I've straightened my hair specifically today, so you guys can see that although I haven't had a haircut for 3 months, it's still quite blunt on those ends. Yeah, it's still quite blunt on those ends. So I rotate between 2 different treatments. Again, one's really wet from the shower. Both are fantastic. One I would suggest more than the other for certain hair types, if that makes sense. So we've got our they're both vegan, both eco-friendly, and all of that jazz. But they're one slightly stronger than the other. So this one, say for like Leanne's hair, because it's finer and shorter, this would be plenty. But then for, say, Justine's hair that's curlier, that tends to be more naturally dry, the moisture mask would be better. So I've been rotating between the 2.
Just tip it slightly forwards, the white one, Peri, just so we can see.
So difficult to know where to put the product.
Yeah, I can see that better now. Cool. I love the Euphoria. I love the Euphoria product. They're so lovely.
Yeah, and then this is the Beautiful Elixirs mask. This is the replenishing treatment.
I have been leaving some of my conditioner in, like, you know,
especially on curly hair.
And until my next wash, and that's helped, I think, but it does still need a cut. But, you know, we're all going through the same thing. So,
been using 2 other products just very quickly. I've been using the Elixir one, which is Mrs. Hinch's favourite product. A little bit of a plug there.
Yes.
So this is a rebonding system. So you pop 2-3 pumps in your hands, mid-lengths and ends, and blow dry it into the hair. It's it's almost like a moisturiser consistency. Aloe vera based, so it's really healing. So I put that through the mid-lengths and ends, and then over the top. So if you ever use like a leave-in conditioner spray, things like that, always use that last. So you pop your creams and potions through first, and then use any sprays last, because that will seal the hair.
I would have always done that first. I would have put the leave-in conditioner first, and then put my product on.
That's great.
Over the top.
Is that better than that one? You can't see.
So for your hair, Leanne, I would stick with that one for now, purely because this is a little bit heavier, and where you like your body and things like that. The blend oil is better for your hair type. Yeah.
I'll put it in the comments.
Yeah. And then I've been using, again, same thing, the Euphoria leave-in repair. Again, it's slightly heavier, which I've not used before because I do suffer with oily hair. But as I'm at home and things like that, this is fantastic for sort of Justine's hair type and grey, coarser hair types.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And really like stressed hair, so over-processed, bleached hair, this is fantastic. We've had a lot of clients that have used this, that have, you know, come in with super blonde hair, wants to stay blonde, but the ends are so, undernourished. There you go. The Fortify as well. So that's perfect for Leanne's because it's slightly lighter.
So basically, between you, you've got the whole product range.
She's a golden client. She's the perfect client. She does what she's told.
Yeah, I do love a product. And Sally's saying she's embracing the grey, but she's been working towards that for a while, so it isn't bad. So I think that's quite good, because some people that are like, oh, shall I embrace the grey? Shall I not? This is perfect time, isn't it? Because
we've had a couple of clients that have said, do you know what? I've got to 3 inches. Do you know what? We're going to go with it. And if I get to Bob and I think, oh God, no, I'll colour it, because you kind of past the worst.
Yeah.
When it's sort of an inch and the rest is so dark or a different colour, it looks so much worse. But once you kind of get a fair way, you do start to think, oh, I've got this far, let's keep going. And if you have a few wires cut back in when you get back to the salon, that's going to cut a lot of that old colour out.
And when we did that photo shoot with the silver haired ladies, I mean, they looked amazing, and they had just gone with it, and they were so supportive of each other. I remember one of the ladies saying, oh my God, like, because she was at the beginning of her sort of journey of going silver, she said to the other lady, oh wow, like, your hair looks so amazing, it's making me really excited now about, you know, getting to the stage that you are. So so that was really,
and they were a real range of ages as well, weren't they? They were sort of in some in their late 30s, 40s, right up to sort of 60s, 70s. So it was really nice.
Yeah, it was. So I think that's great. Good luck with that, Sally. Elaine wants to know if any good tips for quick hair up during lockdown, medium length.
Okay, cool. So I would probably suggest, so I tend to do it with mine. I have got a hairband. So I've been using, again, tip for hairbands are these little doodads. They're anti-stress, they don't pull on the hair so much, and they really secure, because when they lock, they're really strong. So they're really good for anti-breakage and things like that. When
I ordered that, I got some of those with it.
There you go. So quick hair up for me would probably be, so I tend to take my front section of my hair through here. I tend to use my brush a little bit, just back comb slightly, just so you get a little bit of lift. It's very strange doing it backwards in the mirror.
Our video, it's tough because our video is the other way around. It obviously looks right to you guys, the right way around, but it's the other way around. So it does take a bit of getting used to.
That's why the product names show up properly, whereas sometimes when people show you things like that, it's reversed, isn't it?
And then I would pull out some loose pits, maybe just some softer pieces around the face. And then I would use a little piece of hair from underneath. So kind of split your ponytail and then wrap that round that hairband. Just gives a ponytail a sort of a little bit more of a glamorous look.
Yeah, that's a really good tip, isn't it, that
one? Or another one that's quite nice, if you don't want to put all your hair up, I know that Elaine's hair is kind of just below draw, a bit like Leanne's. You can always, this is really hard to do in the mirror because it's the opposite way around, you can always do a little French plait. Or even, this is Marie's favourite, there's a little twist.
Oh, the pasty.
Yeah, the pasty.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah.
And you can almost, if you just want to do that so it's out of your face, great. But you can do this the whole way around the head. So it just keep twisting.
Yeah.
God, she makes that look so easy. Love that.
So it just gives it a little bit of texture. And then I tend to, you can either, side ponytail, or I tend to do a little twist and then just bun that in there.
Lovely.
It's just something a bit different.
I'm loving like the posts that different hairdressers have been doing with different styles and how they style their hair and stuff. That's all been really good because it's just nice to still be visible to people, isn't it? And
yeah, definitely. And we've got some different tools as well. So I don't know, on my bridal page, I think I popped it on there. We've got some mini wavers, which are amazing. I love them, and I use them probably once a week. And what's nice is if you mini wave through that top section, you get a lot more lift and a lot more texture. Then you can't see your regrowth as much. So it just gives it a lot more
with my curly hair, because definitely. I can, although most of the grey will come in around the front now, but it does hide a multitude of sins. So I wouldn't be blow drying my hair straighter during this period, because that's
I
just
don't
going
think
to
I've ever seen your hair smooth, actually.
Yeah, and I do it like once in a blue moon.
We'll put your link, because Peri's done loads of little videos on her page. So we'll put the link to your page so you can have a look at all of those tips that she's showing you, because they're really, really good, just to make us feel a bit more glam. I mean,
this time, and that's one thing I found since having this time. Like, I am the worst. Leanne laughs at me. I'm the worst. I don't wear makeup. I have a really poor skincare range, and I don't really look after myself. But since this, I've got a fantastic skincare range recommended by Leanne. I've been experimenting with makeup. She gets photos every now and again. What do you think of this? And I've been doing treatments twice a week. And that is the one thing I'm going to take out of lockdown, is a little bit more self-care, definitely.
I think we can all agree with
We've
that.
got time, haven't we? We've all had a bit more time to do self-care, which has been nice, actually, because normally we're rushing around like maniacs and don't have the time. It's just whatever we have time for. But yeah, that is really nice.
Yeah.
Should
we talk a little bit about makeup, do you think?
Yeah, should we get some makeup on, Peri?
Yes. One of the ladies commented on our post and said she'd like a quick 5-minute makeup routine. I think she works in a hospital, so I was giving that thought, and I was just thinking, if that's what you're going to do, you want your products to really work for you, so you can put them on quite easily. Maybe there'll be a multitasking product, and once they're on, and you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the day. But to keep it minimal, I would also suggest, I've got this lovely little makeup bag that someone bought me for my birthday once, and I thought that was lovely. But to have your name on it as well. But to just have all your products in one place for your daily makeup. Now, maybe you already do that anyway, but I have got drawers full of makeup. So when I'm looking for stuff, I'm scuffling about. So if I wanted to make it quick and easy, I would say, this is my 5-minute makeup bag. Everything's in one place, and that will save you time as well. And before we start with Peri, I just want to talk about one product that I think is really good for when I was talking about a multitasking product. It's the by IT Cosmetics. It's their CC cream, and CC cream is colour correcting. But it's got other things in it. So it's got factor 50 in it, anti-aging hydrating serum. You could use this. You don't need to use a primer. It kind of does everything in one. It's really quick and easy, and it gives quite full coverage. So I'd say something like that would be
I've seen so much of that. That has been like on Instagram and beauty bloggers. That's been a really big product in the last few weeks.
It's really lovely. I mean, I've got combination skin, so something like this I probably would just use without putting any moisturizer on underneath, and then it's really quick and easy. It comes in all different kind of, this is the original one, but they do a radiance one, they do one that is mattifying for oily skin. I think they do a hydrating one for dry skin. So I just wanted to mention that before we started, because I thought that would be quite helpful. So
Can I just go to a couple of the questions? Rachel, lovely to have you with us. I hope you're well. So vitiligo, so getting, it's quite sort of patchy in the shading and the skin. A primer, primer could really help with that. So depending on what, it sounds like if the primers that you're using, they're making you look a bit orange, is on the white patches, have they got some skin tone in them? Some skin tone colour, so just give me a shout about that one. But maybe like an illuminating primer. What do you think, Justine, for vitiligo?
Well, I was thinking, even this product that I've just talked about, I mean, it is supposed to be colour correcting. I think that would help, because sometimes you can get primers. We often use Smashbox, the green primer that they do, that tones down any redness in the skin, and it's a lovely primer as well. Smashbox do a great range of primers, but I have seen other primers that are sort of more they're sort of lavender in colour, which I think can help lift sallow skin. So I think that's a very good question. If you can come back with a bit more information about how that looks, and we'll have a look into that, and we can post something on that, can't we, afterwards?
Yeah. Tell us a bit more about that. And Lucy, hi Lucy. Lovely to see you. Yeah, breakouts, oily skin and suffering breakouts on the chin and forehead. So yeah, the T-zone area is a really common area for oiliness. So I've got, most people are a combination skin. I have like surface dryness, but then my skin can go oily and my makeup slip off throughout the day. A really good primer, and this is not going to be a good advert, so you'll have to look at the comments. I don't know why I've been using this for the packaging. Look, it rubs off. It's obviously, this is a Bare Essentials, and it's their I use it on oily skin. In fact, it's great in the summer as well. There's no point in me holding that up because you can't see.
Is it Bare Minerals? Is it
Minerals? Yeah, it's their Remedy prep gel. So I will put it in the comments and maybe a picture as well. But it's absolutely fantastic, Lucy, for putting in the T-zone if someone's got an oily skin, and just making sure that your makeup doesn't slip off in that area, especially if you've got a combination thing going on as well, because you might not want to use I mean, some products do, like the CC cream, that one they do have that's more for oily skin. You can get, but then if a product's for oily skin, you might not want it here.
She was also asking about skincare. She currently uses Dermalogica.
Right.
So she's going to get a good skincare range for that. I
mean, I always used to use Dermalogica. I used to love it for my skin, and I've always had combination skin and quite I suffer from breakouts as well. So I did used to like using that. I don't know why I stopped. I think it's because, like Leanne's like me, we're always searching for the miracle product. So I'm currently using a range by Paula's Choice. Which is for combination skin. They do different ranges depending on what your skin type is. Mine is combination and probably also anti-aging as well. But so I'm enjoying that at the moment.
I love this one under makeup, Lucy, because it, even though I've got the slight dryness, it moisturizes enough, this one, but it also doesn't make my makeup slip off. So if I'm putting foundation and products over the top, it's brilliant because it keeps the makeup there, and it's got SPF 50, which is absolutely fantastic. So we will list those ones. That one's normal, oily, and combination. It is an anti-aging.
I can give you a link to their website, and I think that you can go in and sort of get a skin diagnosis from there, and it will recommend the range for you. And they also do, I started off with a travel kit, so I got to see whether I liked the products before buying the full size. And the other thing I'd say about going back to primer, because I think, was it Lucy, said, yeah, it starts dry and ends up oily. So it might be that you might want to apply primer in a patchwork. So one for the T-zone to stop the oil coming through, and then something on the cheeks that could be more hydrating. So, you know, some recommendations if that's something that you're interested in.
Skincare, the Paula's Choice is really good, isn't it? It's a really high performing. I mean, I've recommended Glow Skin. That's really technologically advanced.
I think that's where Dermalogica came from, wasn't it? It was very scientific based.
Yeah,
it's always much better with those products than the ones that have got like essential oils in and things like that. So it is needed to be scientific, and I think Paula's Choice is like that, and the Glow Skin as well is a nice range, isn't it?
All three of those, Dermalogica, Glow Skin, Paula's Choice, they're all, you know, very technically advanced. And a lot of science has gone into them. Sally's asking about Neal's Yard products. What do you've used quite a few? I mean, they are lovely products, aren't they, Neal's Yard?
They are. I used to sort of be a consultant for them, and I still really love the essential oils that they do in the diffuser. But I would say for my skin, I think I need something more scientific based than that. It wasn't, I mean, the body products are lovely, but I think for my face, I don't think that they're the best products for me to use. But some other people absolutely love them, and they love the smells of them, and you can get a lot from using those kind of products where they make you feel good just from the smell of them. So I think Neal's Yard products, like especially for the body, they can be lovely, and they're all sort of ethically sourced, and the the ethos behind the company is really good. So if there are any products in particular that you want to know about, then let me know.
I don't know if you guys saw the message above. It said about golden tanned face with freckles, which I embrace. Could you recommend a soft bronze gold eyeshadow that would complement my green eyes?
Ooh. Well, they're the sort of colours that I like to wear. I've got greeny brown eyes, and I do love a bronze gold eye shade. I mean, I would say it's quite good to go for a palette that's got a range of those.
I'm just going to look at colours. This is a Fenty palette. This one's really nice and gold, and then you've got a rose gold in there as well, and then a slightly pinky, but they're really warm shades. So this one's quite a good palette because you've got really a whole range there. So that is by Fenty Beauty, and it's their one true neutrals. I think this is going to come upside down. I think that's the right way, but you can have I'll put that again in the comments. But that's really nice with those. If you want a bit of everything, then you can
I would love that for me. But I'm not going to buy it.
And you've got that beautiful gold there as well.
But you can mix them as well. Before I did makeup training, I thought you just use like one eyeshadow at a time, but without realising that you can mix it like you would with a paint palette. So you can mix the golds or bronzes together to get the exact tone that you want and sort of play around with it and see what suits you. There's also a good shade for the crease in there, isn't there? That sort of terracotta.
Yeah, that's what I've got. I've got that on the crease today.
Yeah.
Actually, kept it really warm. I've used a combination of the two, the reddy brown.
Yeah,
those two.
Yeah, would love that, and I would use like the dark colour for accent.
The bottom three. I've got
really lovely.
Just going to quickly back to skincare. So thanks for joining us, Naomi. Naomi Jacobs is going to join us in 2 weeks' time. We're going to be talking more about skincare issues and skincare relating to makeup in 2 weeks' time. So Naomi is going to be our guest on that day. So we'll be going into skincare in a lot more detail. We can't wait for that one. So please join us in a couple of weeks' time. For that, where Naomi will be giving us some great advice because she's very experienced on the skincare side. So we can't wait for that one.
And skincare is the most important step of makeup, really, because if your skin looks good, then everything that you put on top of it will look even better. So that is really, really important. Nikki's asking the IT Cosmetics CC creams online. How do you know what colour to order? Now the shades that they come in are like I've got a light here. I think I've had the medium before. They are quite forgiving, but you know they don't have loads of different shades, so it should be fairly easy to work out what shade. I ordered mine originally from QVC. So if you go onto QVC UK, if they've still got this there, they might have a video demonstration on there and it would show you all the different skin tones and which one's the best one to use. I can have a look for a link for that. And a reason I love QVC, I say this every time, is because you get a money back guarantee. So you could try it for a month. I think they've extended that at the moment. And then if you don't like it, you can send it back and you just pay for the postage. So I've got, and they do really good, top quality products on there. So I can put a link on there for you.
Lucy's just asking about a nice facial self-tan. I'm a bit obsessed with self-tan. I don't like tanning my face. I know I've kind of blended it all in, but I don't like tanning. So I wear my Factor 50 when I'm out all the time. So I use, my favourite is probably the Vita Liberata. I haven't got the bottle in front of me, it's in the bathroom, but it's an overnight moisture mask, it's called, but it's a self-tan overnight moisture mask. It's so subtle, it hasn't got horrible smell, and it's lovely. So I'll put that in the comments as well for you, Lucy. It's so natural.
You wash off, or is something
you just use it? You should use it as like a moisturiser. So, because a lot of self-tans can be a little bit drying as well, but this isn't, because it's got that moisture mask in it.
Yeah.
Your skin feels really nicely hydrated as well, and it is very subtle. So if you just want to, and you can wear it, you could apply it winter and summer, And just to
So
give
they do really good products, don't they, that range? Because I had like the body lotion. It was almost a bit like makeup. It's great for using on your legs, like, because my legs never get any colour, and so that was a really lovely product. I also think James Reed does an overnight tan product as well.
Yeah.
Good. And I've got some Tan Luxe drops, which you pop into whatever moisturiser you use, and you mix it in. So it's and then you've got control over how many drops you kind of add in, how much you want. But I haven't used that for a while because my skin's not been great over the last few months. So I've just really stripped everything back. That's why my face doesn't look very brown. Stripped everything back, gone back to basics, gone back to my Paula's Choice. And, you know, once my skin feels back to normal, then I'll start tanning my face. Probably be a bit late by then. Probably be winter.
You do need, when you're using self-tan as well, you do need your skin in really good condition, because potentially it could cling to sort of dry areas. So you need to exfoliate and make sure your skin's in super good condition. But I don't think that Vita Liberata, I don't think that you'd have any problems with that, because it's kind of like a moisturiser with a little bit of self-tan in.
Yeah. You just got to be careful around your brows, haven't you, sometimes? Because if you put it all over your brows, I found that I did get a little bit of a nice orange tint to my brows. not an orange tint to your brows. Oh no.
So Peri, shall we start on what you're going to start with first?
Well, I think we said about tinted moisturiser. So I've moved on to the Glow Skin foundation, which I'm waiting for. And I've used that a couple of times, and that's been lovely. But I think, like you said, for a quick fix, all-in-one moisturiser foundation, I think is best.
Yeah.
Would you apply something like this with a brush or with hands?
I would always apply, for me personally, I would always apply with a brush. My expert face brush that I talk about all the time. Leanne and I love these. But quick and easy.
Well, I have invested.
You have?
You're part of the gang.
Yay!
You might want to use your fingers, especially if it's a tinted moisturiser, because it kind of goes on like a moisturiser. So it really depends about how much time you have and how much coverage you want, I think.
They do lend themselves to applying with the fingers as well. So don't worry about if you like applying with your fingers. CC creams, tinted moisturisers are great for that. Just be careful, if you do have really hot fingers, hot hands, they can kind of melt the makeup a little bit, but also that could actually blend them in easier as well. So
I think like Bobbi Brown, when she always used to do people's makeup, she would always go in afterwards with her hands just to sort of blend everything in. But my skin is more on the oily side, so I don't need any extra oil, you know, to be added to my
fingertips could add, you've got natural oils obviously in your fingers. That's going to impact how the makeup applies. But nice technique, Peri.
Yeah, it's really lovely, because I feel like when you're using a brush, you really like pushing the product into the skin, so it looks more like your skin rather than it just being a layer of foundation.
That's what I like, because I do have freckles. I don't want that kind of
blanket covering.
Flat look.
We like seeing
a nice puffing motion.
Yeah, lovely.
Okay.
Yeah, really good. So next, what would you not like? I would say if you're doing a 5-minute makeup, the minimum I would wear on my eyes would be a mascara. Obviously, we're all different. Some people wouldn't go anywhere without eyeliner. You know, it's but yeah. What do you think? Should we do mascara next?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, go for it. That's if there's no other product, because it just really opens up the eye. Peri's using the Colossal, Maybelline Colossal, which we use a lot in our kits, don't we, Justine? We do really like.
You said that you normally like the waterproof version.
The waterproof version is, I find it just really holds the curl in my lashes. I don't know, it's obviously in the...
I find it doesn't go as powdery underneath either.
So I think that's a really good point. Again, with the 5-minute makeup, for the lady that is working in a hospital, she needs to have a mascara that is going to stay on all day. It's not going to smudge. It's not going to flake. You you know, we've got recommendations of products like that. Obviously, this one we like. If you're going for a waterproof product, yes, it will be more difficult to remove at the end of the day, potentially, but it will stay on and you won't have to worry about it.
Yeah, 'cause it
Being
can
in
be
a salon, that does happen.
so your eyes
Hot and it goes
immediately.
really powdery underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the heat in the hospitals is quite warm as well, isn't it? So
If you're wearing masks as well, it's that's just going to make you feel hotter. So that could be a good thing. I always think like Benefit, their Real mascara, that's water resistant, but once it's on, it stays on, and that's a great product as well. But it's a different price point to the Maybelline. So yeah,
How much is the Maybelline? Do you know?
I would say it's probably about £8 or so. Do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it's about, you know, I tend to try and get them when they're on like 3 for 2 or something. But
Well, they've always got offers on, haven't they? So
that's really good for the money, I think. That one, I like that one. Yes,
Pretty
immediately
good,
your eyes
isn't it?
look fab. We can
So-
see your eyes opened up.
So have you got any blusher or bronzer or anything?
I've got a couple. I use this one.
Nice.
Benefit.
Yeah.
Nice, yes.
It's
Oh,
like-
that's a Benefit one. So is that a blush? Nice, I like that. Yeah.
And then I've also just got a bit of pinky, cheapy.
Yeah,
That's a natural colour. Which one are you deciding to go for? The pinky one.
It just really warms up the face, because I think when as soon as we put foundation on, it evens out the skin tone, but it can make your face look really flat. So we're sort of putting some definition back into it again. It just has to be really quick.
A little bit more, pop a little bit more just on the apples of your Peri, just to give that a nice little.
Lovely.
Perfect. Lovely.
You tend to feel
like I've got the full
camera.
service here.
Lovely. And then lipstick or lip balm. Oh, I sound so bossy, don't I?
Or would you just go for lipstick?
Well, I think if it's a 5 minute, it depends how quickly you can do it. I always use a lip liner. I can put lip liner on without even looking in the mirror.
What colour is that? What shade have you got there? Is it quite a natural shade, or does it match the lipstick?
This is called GP538.
Oh,
It's
a natural.
It looks really natural. It looks like
I like the colour of that. If you shade the centre of your lips as well with that lip liner, looks like you're colouring it all in, then that will give a base for your lipstick to go, and hopefully the lipstick will last a bit longer. And I think if you know that you use a shade like that, when it does wear off, it's not going to need, it's not going to be as obvious as if my red lipstick starts coming off, I have to keep topping that up because it doesn't look very good. Whereas with more of a nudie colour, it doesn't really matter, does it, when it starts coming off?
You still have a little bit underneath, which is great.
So that's probably using about 5 products, isn't it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the liner.
Yeah. So I think that's really great. But different people might just want to wear a lip balm and do extra.
I would do is add in my brow pencil.
Pop a little bit of that on for us, Peri. Benefit do some great brow products.
I think the quickest one to use is the I thought I've got it here, is the little it's called Gimme Brow. It's like a little mascara one that you can just brush through your brows, because that's super quick then. I think I need a new one of those.
The setting one of those.
Ah.
Which I put this on and then put that over the top.
Yes.
I almost sound like I know what I'm doing.
You do. What are you talking about?
You've got great technique.
Yeah, she has. Yeah, lovely. It looks really nice and natural. What colour what shade is that one, Peri?
3. I think that's the mid.
Oh, I've got 3 as well. Yeah.
And a little bit of the brow mascara over the top. And that will just hold it all in place.
I'm liking this fluffy brow look.
If you don't want to spend, you could just use the brow mascara, which is the Gimme Brows on its own, if you just want something super quick.
But there's lots of
This is
other brands.
really
Maybelline do them as well. I still
set
think
brow. It's
that's my favourite because it's got a small wand. You've got the Tarte one, haven't you, Leanne?
I've got a Tarte one, which is, it's so, can you even see that? It's absolutely tiny.
So really good to coat every sort of brow hair.
But it's super quick because it gives some colour and it, you know, frames, the brows frame the face as well. So yeah, really quick and easy. That's really nice, Peri.
And how quick was that? And I just wanted to show you this product as well while we're here, which is a mascara. I don't know if you can see that. It's by Maybelline and it's called Push Up Angel. Honestly, like, they do so many mascaras, it's really difficult to know what ones to get. But I did buy this for my kit, but I've decided to use it because we're not using our kits, are we? So this won't go back in my kit. But then I looked and the wand is so weird. I don't know if you can see. Look how it's like, there's only half of it.
Oh, yeah.
It's more like a comb, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more like
That's
a comb.
a little bit light. This I got, and I can't get on with it. It's the new Benefit.
Yeah.
Is it Bad Girl?
It's really black, that. Yeah. So I have been using it.
Really sticks to it.
But I think this would be really good for people that haven't got like very long or thick lashes, because you can literally get right in there and coat every hair, every lash. And I wonder whether people that haven't got many eyelashes, or they're not like voluminous, whether they might struggle with using a mascara with a really big wand like the Colossal. So the thing is, when we use the mascaras in our kit, we can never use the ones that come with it. We always have to use disposable wands. So really the wand for us is irrelevant, but I think it's a really personal thing, and it's about finding the wand that you get on with and then sticking to that sort of shape wand from then onwards.
Also, another tip, the mascara, I don't know if you can see, it's much nicer than this eye. And when I used to have my eyelashes done, these eyelashes curled it like that inwards.
Really?
If I was to curl them with an eyelash curler, would that make a difference?
You could give it a go. Sometimes it does make them fan out, and sometimes it actually brings them in. So
yeah.
What we'll do is, when I see you next, when we're able to see each other, we'll have a go with that before you buy some eyelash curlers.
Yeah.
We'll test that out, because sometimes it can have the opposite
almost
effect.
Like hooks in the eyelash rather than
to fan out. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. But I was just going to go back to that, you know, the really tiny mascara ones. There, if someone's got very fine, very you know, short lashes, those type are absolutely brilliant. I know Clinique does one like that as well, and also Lee is saying the Rimmel Wonder Lash Luxe has a similar one. So if you have got really short, very fine lashes, yeah, your lashes are a bit too long, Peri, for that type of wand. You want more of a brush. If you've got if you've got longer lashes, you want a fuller. You find it easier with a fuller brush. I've got one here, the Arbonne one, the Speaks Volumes. It's very fine, and it goes really fine at the end as well, at the tip.
Yeah.
So that's quite good for getting really fine little hairs. So the smaller your lash hairs, the smaller the wand you want, basically.
Yeah, my lashes seem to have really recovered since I've not had lashes now since February time.
Because
I'm quite glad I stopped, obviously, with lockdown. It was my choice rather than it, you know, being taken away from me. And I've always had very long eyelashes, but they really did struggle for probably about the first month. But they seem to have really kind of got better.
They look lovely.
It looks lovely. It really looks lovely.
They're long and and they curl. They stay up, don't they, as well, which is really nice. I have to use the eyelash curlers because mine just are not very long and they don't curl very well. They're rubbish. So I have to use the eyelash curlers.
Netta,
yeah, I was just going to say that Netta wants your eye palette. I want the eye palette too. And if you use the overnight hand cream, would it come off on a white pillowcase?
It does. It does, Netta, and it does go through. I've got white pillowcases, and most people have got white pillows, and it does go through. Yeah, we've got yellowy. I try and hide it from Simon.
I bought myself some black pillowcases this week because I like to buy
Great
this
idea.
like satiny silk pillowcases, which is supposed to be better for my hair. And I bought one in white before, but where I have hair dye and stuff, then that comes off on the pillow. So I just thought I'm just going to get black, and then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So that's.
I love the white pillowcase though. I love it, but I'm always washing my pillowcases all the time.
You should have a show pillow.
The show pillow, but yeah, and even the pillows underneath, because I use self tan on my face all year round. Yeah, they're going yellow, so I have to change the pillows quite often as well.
Because we couldn't stop using the tan, could we?
Really am an Essex girl.
Right, well, I'm conscious that we've only got like about 5 minutes left. We wanted to cover a bit of eyeliner, maybe talk about eyeliner because Faye's just said she has the Arbonne mascara and she thinks her eyelashes have really grown since using it. So
I think it's really conditioning. I think the Arbonne is really conditioning on the lashes. So I agree with you, Faye. They are really nice. I'm just gutted that I can't use it in my kit, as Justine said. We can't, from a hygiene point of view, we can't use this on, different clients. So it's the wand is irrelevant, but it is a lovely formula as well.
Yeah, we might have to try that. Right, so in terms of eyeliner, we did do, like on the last question and answer, you did a demo, didn't you, Leanne, which was about using powders as eyeliners. So I've got a few products here that I like to use because I do always wear an eyeliner. I haven't done it today because we were going to do some on here and it feels very strange to me. Sometimes I use, I love this product. This is a Bobbi Brown one. If I show you the, it's got a little...
So we're talking liquid liners, aren't we?
Yes, so this is a liquid liner and this is blue, but I only really wear it over the top of if I've already put an eyeliner on because it really intensifies the colour. I think a great tip is what Leanne showed last time, which is like using an angled brush, little angled brush with a powder, with an eyeshadow. So
I'll do it again in a moment. Yeah, just to show people
that as well.
Because it's so easy to do, but then it almost acts like a base. So if I wanted to put something like this over the top, which you have to be very precise with, by having that line underneath, it's a lot more forgiving. And of course, using powder, you can wipe it away, you can practice with it, and then when you feel more confident, you could go on to other products like the gel liners that you can get, that you can put in. But really, I think using the shadow is such a good technique. Also, I think one makeup artist told me something, that when you're practicing new makeup, maybe do it at the end of the day because you're going to take your makeup off anyway. Just practice with it, because otherwise if you suddenly decide you're going to go on a night out and I want to do a lovely eyeliner flick, and then you do that and then it completely ruins what you've done and you have to clean it up and everything. And I thought that was quite a good tip really, because actually then you could just practice it until you feel more confident, because a lot of people struggle with eyeliner, don't they, Leanne?
Yeah, it's most people, I would say it's probably one of the most difficult things to master, especially the flick and using liquids and gels. Yeah. I tend to use a gel liner. So this is the MAC in Black Track. Yeah. So it's a solid, and I like to use with the brush I'm holding. So these are the little angled brushes. So it's tiny. It's tiny. The other ones, I've got one the other end as well. It's slightly longer. It just gives me a bit more control with the gel liner, and they do some lovely colours as well. But I'm going to show you how to do with the powder, just to get like just to do like a trace line, so you'll find it a little bit easier. And you just go over the top, like Justine said, with your liquid afterwards if you want to use a liquid. Well, I find for my age, I just find a powder is a lot softer. I agree. Sometimes we do get older, we want to soften those lines, because sometimes harsh lines can be quite aging. So just be careful about that when you're maybe switch, as you are sort of aging, just switch your formula slightly, just so it's a little bit softer. So I'm going back to, Netta, this palette you like, I'm going to go back to this one. So most palettes have a dark shade in.
Yeah, I've got this one here, the MAC
And
Time
matte,
of 9.
they tend to be matte.
Yeah.
And so they're great for liner. So if you're scared about using those dark shades as an eyeshadow, use them as a liner with your little angled brush. Sometimes I use a little buff.
Lovely palette.
Tiny, but the angle brush is good as well. So the angle brush is going to be a bit more precise. So what I'm going to show you is, I'm just going to get a little bit on my brush, my angled brush.
So sorry, Leanne, a brush like this one?
Yep, that's it. And it has to be, I'd say the finer the better. Do you think, Justine?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got a Real Techniques. This is my favourite one at the moment. Real Techniques Definer brush. They're really good value, aren't they, this range? And I prefer using this one because the brush does a lot of the work for you. When you're pressing it in, you're not having, I think a lot of people think when they're doing eyeliner, they have to do it all in one go. It has to be a nice sweep. And in reality, you don't have to do it like that. There are much easier ways of doing it.
No, so what I'm going to do, just tell me, girls, if this, make sure this is visible.
Yeah.
On the camera. So what I'm going to do is lift up on the brow. So I can't do this.
It's really important to lift up and not lift, because it can really distort your eye shape if you're pulling it outwards, can't it?
Just lift gently, and just so, because what that does, it tips your eyelid, so it's easier to get into the lashes. That's what that does. And then I just press into the lash hairs. I just press the colour. Just get a little bit more. Hope you can all see that okay.
Yeah.
And just work along, just pressing it in. And it's so much easier than trying to actually kind of draw a line.
Yeah.
Something else I tend to do is I tend to lift at the corner. I tend to do a little flick. I don't know if you can see that because my skin's quite crepey, but I tend to do a lift.
Yeah.
In that direction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At the corner, just to give, with my angle brush, just to give a bit of a lift rather than bringing it all the way down to the corner, which kind of tend to drag the eye down. And as I say, it's not so much a problem for Peri, but as we get older, our eyes tend to, you know, sag down a little bit, which is nice.
I've definitely noticed, yeah, like where your eyes become more hooded, where my eyes have become more hooded, it was much easier to do a flick when I was younger, whereas now when you do it, sometimes it disappears into the little crease.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't always work so well. So what
you
I'm doing,
just have to adapt it to your changing face, adapt makeup to your changing face.
Yeah, so I wouldn't actually do a really long flick. It won't look, I won't get that lovely line because my skin creases here now, unfortunately. So I just do a little lift. This is a very old-fashioned sort of tip. You always want your eyeshadow and eyeliner in these angles. You don't want it dropping under here. It's always got to be going upwards.
Yeah.
Then that'll give that nice kind of lifting effect to the eye. So as we age, it doesn't drop, it gives us a younger looking effect. So you can try this with dark coloured matte powders and your little brushes, tiny little brush. Have a little practice. Yeah, that's great, Justine. So, and try the lifting just so you can really work it into the lash hairs.
Because otherwise you sometimes get a gap, don't you, between the lash line and where the eyeliner is.
We don't want to see a gap. We don't want to see any skin between the lash hairs and the eyelid. That's the most important thing. And you'll get a really seamless, you'll be amazed at, I mean, when I'm doing this on one-to-one lessons, I'm sure you're the same, Justine, it just really opens up the eye.
Yeah, I mean, I feel more normal now that I've got my eyeliner on. And I could go over that and intensify it. But I think it's like as we get older as well, having things a little bit more smudgy and smoky is just so much more flattering than, you know, graphic lines really. So,
but if you're lovely and young,
there that she loves the liquid liner. Is there any particular liquid liners that you guys prefer?
Well, I mean, we don't use liquid liners in our makeup kits, do we? Because of hygiene. But this one I've got is a Bobbi Brown one that I bought after I went to a Bobbi Brown masterclass with Pixie Woo. So I can give you a link.
Do you find that quite easy to use?
It's really lovely. I mean, but I would go over what I've done here rather than just using it on its own. But if you can see, it just so easy. Like the brush is lovely. It's got like this one's got it's a blue with a sparkle in it.
Lovely. That's really nice. So yeah, use the powder line as your trace line. So that's you'll just make it easy when you come to applying your liquid over the top, and it'll hold the liquid really well. As well. But you tend to use gel liners. Illamasqua. I've got a MAC one at the moment, but I had an Illamasqua one. That was really lovely.
Yeah, that's lovely.
It is getting the right brush to go with it. But it's a trial and error, and it is a lot of practice. But I just think if you try and do the powder first, it will give you something to work with rather than going.
Sorry. I think if you've got like that palette like you've got, Leanne, if you're doing your 5-minute makeup and you've got a palette like that, then it's just going to make it easier because you're going to have that there ready to go. And like for me, a 5-minute makeup will probably include doing that liner, and it's just really, having multitasking products really.
And I just find on clients when I'm doing a liquid line with the flick, I just find these brushes easier to use. I just like them. I feel like I've got more control, and you're always flicking downwards. You're never dragging up. You're always coming down, rather than a very fine eyeliner brush, which some people do like to use. I just find these give a really lovely, a lovely flick. Is that the Bobbi Brown one you're
just feel going like over there? Because then you don't have to be so precise. Don't know if you can see the difference.
Doing the flick that way, you're coming in that way.
Yeah, that's the way that I do it.
Yeah, just find it much easier.
And you'll always find one eye's easier to do than the other as well, because your eyes are different shapes and different angles of how you apply. Oops.
That is a problem because whether you're left or right-handed, you're always going to find one coming in at different angles. You're going to find one easier to do than the other. Yeah.
Well, I think we should be wrapping up because we're over an hour now.
We've got
Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks, Elaine. Elaine said she's really enjoying today, so that's lovely. Thank you. Thanks for your questions. It's lovely to have that interaction with you. Don't forget we're doing another one in a couple of weeks' time with
on skincare, so that'll be join us for then, and please share and with your friends and colleagues and family, just so everyone else can benefit from what we're doing on the Beauty Club. And we have Makeup Monday, so every Monday we have a different makeup video. It's just a very quick one that we do on a Monday, or it could be some other tips, so have a look for those. And we will put Peri's page link on there, so you can watch Peri's videos, see all of her products and advice.
Yeah, we'll do that afterwards.
So you can go ahead and enjoy and go and buy whatever products you want to. Oh, Nick is.
Shouldn't be encouraging people to do that, Leanne. We're bad enough ourselves.
We're a bad influence. Yeah, people spending a fortune.
But
sorry.
Enjoy this period of time. Have a lovely day. Thanks so much, Peri, for all of your
brilliant
pleasure. It's nice to have a little bit of normal. And
for doing your makeup on screen as well. We weren't brave enough to do that. Lovely. So thanks, anyone. If you have any questions in the meantime, then please post them to our page.
Have a lovely bank holiday weekend. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.